The rain fell in heavy sheets as Olivia hurried down the dimly lit street, her coat pulled tightly around her. The cold seeped through her clothes, but she barely noticed. Her mind was elsewhere, back in the small apartment she shared with her mother, where the walls held both their laughter and their tears. At 30 years old, Olivia had known more hardship than most, but she had also known love, deep, unwavering love, the kind that kept her going even on the darkest days. Life had not always been kind. Her father had passed away when she was just 15, leaving her and her mother to navigate the world alone. Her mother, a woman of quiet strength, had worked tirelessly to provide for them, never complaining, never letting Olivia see the exhaustion in her eyes. She had been Olivia's rock, her best friend, the one person who made even the hardest days bearable. Their evenings together were sacred. No matter how tired her mother was from her long shifts at the diner, she always made time to sit with Olivia, to ask about her day, to listen. Even when her hands trembled from fatigue, she would smile. That same warm, reassuring smile that had carried Olivia through every storm. Olivia had done her best to make her mother proud. She had become a teacher, pouring her heart into her students, hoping to give them the same kindness and encouragement her mother had always given her. But no matter how much she loved her job, there was always a shadow hanging over her. Her mother's declining health. The first time her mother had collapsed, Olivia's world had shattered. She had come home from work to find her lying on the kitchen floor, her breath shallow, her skin pale. The rush to the hospital, the frantic calls for help, the crushing weight of helplessness, it had all blurred together in a nightmare she couldn't wake from. The doctor's words had been gentle but firm. Your mother's heart is weak. She needs surgery. And then the number, the impossible, staggering number. Olivia had never felt so powerless. She had taken on extra classes, given private lessons, scrimped and saved every penny, but it was never enough. The fear of losing her mother, the only family she had left, was a constant ache in her chest. Then one evening, soaked from the rain and weighed down by despair, she had found the envelope. No name, no return address, just a simple note. For your mother's surgery, take care of her. And inside, $20,000. Olivia had stared at the money, her hands shaking. Who would do this? Who even could do this? She had no answers, only a desperate, overwhelming gratitude. The next day, she had rushed her mother to the hospital, her heart pounding with hope for the first time in months. The surgery had been long. Olivia had paced the hospital hallway, her fingers twisting together, her prayers a silent plea. Please, please let her be okay. When the doctor finally emerged, his face calm but weary, Olivia had braced herself. The surgery was successful, he had said. Your mother will be okay. Tears had spilled down her cheeks. Relief so profound it had nearly knocked her off her feet. She had rushed to her mother's side, clutching her hand, whispering promises she intended to keep. You're safe, Mom. You're safe. In the weeks that followed, her mother grew stronger. Color returned to her cheeks, and her smile, that precious familiar smile, became a daily sight again. But Olivia couldn't shake the question, who had given them this miracle? Months passed without an answer. Then, one ordinary afternoon, a man walked into her classroom. He was tall, with kind eyes and a quiet presence. My name is Daniel, he had said. I wanted to meet the teacher who changed my sister's life. Olivia had recognized his sister immediately, a shy, struggling student she had taken under her wing years ago. The girl had blossomed under Olivia's encouragement, and now, it seemed, her brother had come to thank her. But as they spoke, Olivia realized there was more to it than gratitude. Daniel's eyes held something deeper, a quiet admiration, a warmth that made her heart skip. I didn't just help your mother because of what you did for my sister, he admitted one evening as they stood in her kitchen, the dishes forgotten in their hands. I did it because I care about you. His words had left her breathless. Olivia had spent so long being strong, so long carrying the weight of her fears alone, that the idea of letting someone in, of trusting again, terrified her. But Daniel was patient. He didn't push. He simply stayed. Through her mother's recovery, through her doubts, through the moments when her past wounds threatened to close her off again. And slowly, Olivia began to believe. One evening as they walked through the park, the autumn leaves crunching beneath their feet, she finally found the courage to speak. I'm scared, she whispered. But I don't want to lose you. Daniel had stopped, turning to face her, his hands gentle as they held hers. You won't, he promised. I'm not going anywhere. For the first time in years, Olivia let herself hope. Months turned into a year, and their love grew, steady, unwavering. Her mother adored Daniel, and he treated her with the same tenderness he showed Olivia. Then, one night after dinner, Daniel knelt before her, a small box in his hands. Olivia, he said softly, you taught me that kindness can change a life. You changed mine. Will you marry me? Tears filled her eyes, happy tears, the kind she had once thought she'd never shed again. Yes, she whispered. Yes. As her mother clapped her hands in joy and Daniel slipped the ring onto her finger, Olivia realized something profound. Life had broken her once. It had taken her father, threatened her mother, left her drowning in fear, but love had healed her. She had lost everything, but in the end, love had found her. And this time, she wasn't afraid to hold on.